The alien jungle world of Ravak Prime was always full of danger. But that day, something happened that shook the entire kingdom. The feral alien queen's elder mother, the most feared and respected matriarch of their species, suddenly went missing. No one understood how it happened. No one even believed it was possible. She was strong, sharp, and powerful, yet she had simply vanished like smoke in the air. The alien warriors searched the kingdom with fear in their eyes. They whispered among themselves, "What if she was taken? What if a new enemy entered our land? What if this is a trap?" The queen herself was furious. Her voice echoed across the stone halls. "Find her. Search every corner of this planet." But even with hundreds of warriors hunting for her, there was no sign, not even a footprint, at the same time. Far away from the kingdom, a human named Evan Hale struggled to fix his crashed pod. He had landed on Ravak Prime by accident after a navigation failure. His oxygen tank was almost empty, and his food supply was low. He had never seen alien forests like this before: glowing plants, strange blue fog, and massive creatures that watched him from the shadows. Still, Evan kept walking. "If I stop, I die," he whispered to himself. As he moved deeper into the forest, he heard a soft groan. It was low, filled with pain, and very close. Evan froze. Is that a person? He followed the sound and reached a clearing where he saw something unbelievable: a huge alien woman-old, majestic, and covered in deep purple scales, was lying on the ground. She was breathing heavily, her body shaking like she was fighting to survive. Evan had no idea who she was, but he knew one thing: she needed help. He looked around carefully. No predators. "Maybe I can help her." He slowly approached her. She opened her bright golden eyes and stared at him. There was fear and a strange softness. She looked too weak to attack. Evan knelt beside her and gently lifted her head. Her skin was cold. "You're freezing," he murmured. "You need warmth." "It's okay. I'm here." He placed his jacket around her and pulled her closer to his chest to share his body heat. The elder mother closed her eyes, relaxed, and breathed slowly. For the first time in her long life, she allowed a stranger to hurl out a human to help her. Hours passed. Evan stayed awake, protecting her from the cold wind and strange creatures he heard moving in the darkness. When morning arrived, the jungle lit up with green sunlight. Evan smiled faintly. "You made it through the night. Thank God." But he didn't know the real danger was coming. High above the trees, alien drones scanned the area, searching for the missing elder mother. One of them detected to life signs, one extremely powerful, one completely unknown. Back at the kingdom, a warrior shouted, "We found her." 2 heartbeats. But the second one is not alien. The queen's eyes widened with anger and fear. "Prepare the hunting squad," she ordered. "No outsider touches my mother." Dozens of warriors rushed into the forest, carrying glowing spears and armored suits. They moved fast, leaving deep marks in the soil as they ran. Evan still sat beside the elder mother, unaware that an entire alien army was coming straight for him. He only knew that the old alien woman needed him. He gave her water from his bottle. "You've got to drink. Don't give up on me." Suddenly, the ground began to shake. Loud footsteps echoed through the forest. Leaves fell from trees. Strange roars spread in the air. Evan looked around nervously. What now? Within seconds, 20 alien warriors surrounded him, their spears pointed at his throat. They were furious, ready to strike. The leader shouted, "Human, step away from the matriarch." Evan raised his hands. "I'm not here to hurt her." The warriors didn't listen. They moved closer, prepared to attack, but then something none of them expected happened. The elder mother slowly lifted her arm. and placed it protectively across Evan's chest. She let out a low growl, warning her own warriors to stay back. The entire squad froze in shock. No warrior had ever seen the elder. "Mother, defend anyone," the leader whispered in disbelief. "Why? Why is she resting against him?" And just like that, the forest went silent. The mystery had only begun. The forest stayed silent for a long moment, as if the entire jungle was holding its breath. The warriors stood frozen, their glowing spears trembling in their hands. They expected the human to beg for mercy or try to escape. But Evan didn't move. He sat still, calm, letting the elder mother rest against his chest. The warrior leader was shocked. "Matriarch, why? Why protect a stranger?" Slowly, the elder mother opened her golden eyes. They were tired, but strong. She raised her head slightly and looked at her warriors with a gaze that demanded respect. The warriors immediately kneeled. Even in her weak state, her presence was powerful. Evan could feel her strength returning. She was heavy against him, but her breathing was steady now. "You are safe," she whispered in a deep voice that vibrated in his chest. Evan blinked. "You? Speak English." She gave a faint smile. "Old language. Learned long ago." The warriors exchanged confused glances. They had never heard her speak any human language. She rarely spoke at all. The leader cleared his throat. "Matriarch, we must take you home. The queen is waiting. She fears the worst." The elder mother tried to stand, but her legs shook. Evan quickly caught her arm. "Careful. Don't push yourself." All the warriors gasped. A human touching the elder mother was unthinkable. It was like touching living flame, dangerous, forbidden. But instead of reacting with anger, the elder mother allowed it. She leaned on him gently. "Help me walk," she murmured. Evan nodded. "Of course." The leader's jaw dropped. "What is this?" "Matriarch. This human saved my life," she said, her voice firm. That single sentence shook every warrior to the core. Saved. A human. Their matriarch? Impossible. The elder mother continued. "He found me injured. He gave warmth. He stayed through the night. Even when the forest hunted us." The warriors lowered their heads in shame. They had been proud of their strength, proud of their queen's power, but a single human had done what none of them could. As they escorted the elder mother and Evan back to the palace, tension filled the air. The pathway glowed blue under their feet as the alien forest reacted to their movement. Strange insects buzzed. Giant tree creatures shifted their branches, watching quietly. Evan looked around. "This world is scary." The elder mother chuckled softly. "To you, to us, it is home." During the long journey, she walked with Evan holding her left side while a warrior supported her right. But she leaned more on Evan, choosing him over her own people. Warriors exchanged nervous whispers. Why does she trust him? Human magic? No. Something else. When they reached the outskirts of the palace, the sound of drums echoed through the valley. The kingdom was waiting. Tall black towers rose like spears into the sky, wrapped in glowing vines. Thousands of alien citizens lined the road, watching silently. Their eyes widened when they saw their sacred matriarch walking beside a human. Is he controlling her? No one can control the matriarch. Then why is she close to him? Evan felt all the eyes on him, but he stayed focused. The elder mother's grip was weak. She needed support inside the palace gates. The queen herself waited tall, armored, and radiating power. Her glowing blue crown flickered with anger. She took one step forward. "Mother," the queen said in a trembling voice, "what happened to you?" The elder mother tried to answer, but her breath broke. Evan stepped in front of her to steady her. The queen's eyes flared. "Human, do not touch her." She raised her clawed hand, ready to strike. But the elder mother lifted her arm, again blocking her daughter's attack. "Enough," she growled. "He saved me." The queen froze in shock. "Saved you?" She stared at Evan, disbelief turning into suspicion. "What did you do to her? Speak." Evan swallowed. "I did nothing except help. I found her hurt. I gave her water, heat, and I stayed with her so she wouldn't die alone." The queen's breath trembled with anger, fear, and confusion. She looked at her mother, who softly nodded. "It is true," the elder mother whispered. "This human protected me better than any warrior." The queen's face tightened. She could not understand how a fragile human could win her mother's trust. She felt threatened, like her world was shifting under her feet. She turned to the council. "Bring him to the hall of judgment. I will not allow this without trial." The elder mother suddenly spoke louder, her voice echoing like thunder. "No, he follows me." Everyone froze. A human. Walking beside the matriarch. Into the palace, unheard of, impossible, unacceptable. But no one could disobey her command. Evan met the queen's eyes, unsure and nervous. He didn't know the ancient laws, but he could feel the weight of destiny settling on him. The elder mother held his arm tightly. "We will face them together," she said softly. And with that, the most feared elder of the feral alien race walked into the palace leaning on a human while thousands watched in stunned silence. Something big was coming, something the queen could not stop. The palace hall of Ravak Prime was carved from black stone that absorbed light and returned it as a blue, dangerous glow. Alien guards lined both sides, standing as still as statues. Their eyes followed every step the elder mother took, supported by the human they knew nothing about. The air felt heavy, as if the walls themselves were listening. At the far end of the hall stood the feral alien queen, tall and fierce, her armor shining like a living creature. Her face was unreadable, a perfect mix of rage and royal pride. When she saw her mother enter weak, tired, leaning on a human, her jaw tightened. Evan felt a cold fear climb up his spine. The queen's presence was terrifying. She looked like someone who could crush him with one hand. Yet the elder mother walked forward bravely, her fingers still wrapped around Evan's arm. The queen's voice shook the hall. "Mother, the kingdom searched for you everywhere. I feared the worst." Her voice softened for a moment, filled with real emotion. But then she saw Evan again. Her eyes narrowed like blades. "And now I find you resting against a human." Whispers spread across the hall. A human touched a matriarch. "This breaks the ancient law. No outsider ever enters this hall." Evan lowered his head, trying to stay respectful. But inside he felt surrounded like the whole palace could swallow him any time. The elder mother raised her hand weakly. "Daughter, listen. This human saved my life." The queen's sharp blue eyes glowed brighter. "How? Why would he? Humans do not even belong here." Evan took a deep breath. "I didn't know who she was. I just saw someone suffering." The queen stepped closer. Her height dwarfed him. You saved her. My mother, the strongest of our bloodline." Her tone wasn't gratitude, was disbelief mixed with suspicion. Evan met her eyes. She was in pain. Anyone would have helped. The queen laughed coldly. "No, humans help only when they want something in return." "What did you demand?" "Money, power, protection." Evan shook his head. "Nothing. I didn't ask for anything." The queen circled him slowly. She studied his torn suit, his tired eyes, his empty hands. "You are weak, fragile, soft, and yet my mother trusts you." The words hung in the air. The elder mother, gathering her strength, spoke again. He did not run when darkness came. He protected me through the night. He did what even our warriors failed to do. A deep silence followed. The queen's face darkened not because she didn't believe her mother, but because this truth wounded her pride. A human had succeeded where her soldiers failed. A human had done something she thought impossible. She turned away for a moment, trying to control her anger. Then she looked back sharply. Mother, if he truly saved you, I must know his intentions. I must know if he is a threat. Evan quickly protested. I'm not a threat to anyone here. Silence. The queen thundered. Her voice struck him like a physical force. Guards stepped forward immediately, spears glowing. But the elder mother raised her hand again, stopping them. Daughter, she said calmly, you are afraid. The entire hall gasped. Calling the queen afraid was dangerous even for the matriarch. But the elder mother continued, her voice soft but powerful. You fear the unknown. You fear that a human changed your world in one night? The queen's fists tightened. I fear nothing. Evan watched, feeling like he was witnessing a family argument that could decide his fate or end his life. The elder mother pointed at him. This human must live. He must be tested, not killed. The queen's eyes glowed again. A test. Yes, the elder mother said. The night trial in the sacred forest. Gasps spread across the hall. Even Evan felt the air grow colder. What is that? The queen looked at him without emotion. It is the most dangerous test on Ravik Prime. No outsider has survived it. Then she added with a hint of challenge, even many of our own warriors fail. Evan swallowed hard. The elder mother placed her hand on his shoulder. But I believe he will not fail. The queen looked at her mother, then at Evan, and finally agreed. Fine, if he survives the night trial, I will accept that you trust him. But if he fails, her voice dropped to a chilling whisper. His bones will stay in the forest forever. Evan nodded slowly. He had no choice. The trial would decide everything. The elder mother looked into his eyes. Have courage, human. The forest sees hearts, not weapons. The queen signaled the guards. Take him to prepare. The trial begins at sunset. As they led Evan away, he looked back one last time. The elder mother gave him a small, proud smile. The queen watched silently, her expression unreadable, her thoughts dark and deep. A human was about to enter the sacred forest, and the entire kingdom waited to see if he would survive or disappear forever. Evan stood at the edge of the sacred forest, his heart thumping loudly inside his chest. The sun was slowly sinking behind the black mountains, painting the sky with red and purple light. It felt like the sky itself was warning him. Alien guards surrounded him in a half-circle, their glowing armor flickering in the fading light. One guard spoke coldly when the sun disappears. The trial begins. If you wish to survive, human, trust nothing. Not sounds, not light, not even your own eyes. Evan swallowed. That doesn't make me feel any better. The guard didn't respond. Another added, many warriors of our world failed this trial. If you die, the forest keeps your body. Evan's legs felt weak, but he forced himself to stay calm. He remembered the elder mother's soft voice. The forest sees hearts, not weapons. He held on to those words. The queen arrived a moment later, tall and dangerous. Her glowing blue crown pulsed like a heartbeat. She looked at Evan without emotion. You stand here because of my mother's wish, she said. Tonight, the forest will decide if you are worthy, or if you were just a mistake. Evan nodded. I'll do my best. The queen's eyes flashed. Your best will not be enough. Humans break easily. Before Evan could respond, the sun slipped behind the horizon. The sacred forest changed instantly. Blue mist rose from the ground. Plants curled as if waking up. Strange glowing eyes opened between the trees. The guards stepped back quickly. A single drumbeat echoed across the valley. Boom! The night trial had begun. A bridge of black vines opened. Creating a path for Evan, he took a deep breath and stepped into the forest. Inside the sacred forest, the moment he entered, the vine path closed behind him. The sounds of the palace vanished. Only silence remained. The forest was alive in a way Evan couldn't understand. Tree trunks pulsed like veins. Flowers opened and closed like breathing lungs. Small flying creatures shimmered like floating sparks, circling him cautiously. Evan whispered, "Okay." No sudden moves. He moved carefully, one step at a time. But the forest didn't want him to walk quietly. First challenge came quickly. A loud growl echoed from the left. Evan turned and saw a massive creature for long legs, glowing blue fur and sharp tusks. It stood still, watching him. It didn't attack. It just observed. Evan slowly lowered his gaze so he didn't seem like a threat. "I'm not here to fight." The creature blinked, then faded into the darkness as if it had never been there. Evan exhaled shakily. Okay, that could have been worse. The forest wasn't done. The whispering, foggy, thick white fog began to rise from the ground. It was cold and strange. Evan stepped back, but the fog followed him like a living thing. Then he heard voices inside it, at first faint, then louder, then clear. "Evan, help me, Evan. Come this way, Evan. I'm dying." It was the elder mother's voice. Evan's heart twisted. No, this can't be real. Another voice whispered, "Evan, please, I'm lost." He shook his head. He knew the rules. The forest lies. He covered his ears and kept walking straight. The fog thinned, and the voices faded. He passed the moving ground as he walked deeper. The ground cracked suddenly. The entire forest floor shifted like a giant creature stretching beneath him. Evan lost his balance and fell, sliding toward a glowing pit. He grabbed onto a thick root just in time. Dirt crumbled around his hands. The pit below glowed with blue fire. It felt alive. Hungry? Evan's arms shook. Don't. Let go. He kicked his feet, searching for support. He found a rock and pushed hard, pulling himself back onto stable ground. His breaths were sharp. His hands trembled. But he survived again. The final hour the forest darkened further. Alien stars shone through twisted branches. Evan walked until he reached an ancient tree, the heart of the sacred forest. Its bark shone gold. Its roots glowed like veins. He felt something watching him. A shadow stepped out. Not a creature. Not a warrior. The spirit of the forest doll, glowing, silent. It circled Evan slowly. Its voice entered his mind. Why did you save the matriarch? Evan answered with his heart. Because she needed help. That's all? You were afraid. Yes, Evan admitted. But I stayed. The spirit paused. Then it touched Evan's forehead lightly. Courage without cruelty. Rare, you may live. The forest suddenly softened. A pathway opened, leading him back. Return at dawn. Evan emerged from the forest dirty. Shaking, exhausted, but alive. The warriors gasped. The queen's eyes widened despite her attempts to stay emotionless. Only the elder mother smiled, pride shining in her golden eyes. Evan stood tall. I survived. The queen stepped forward slowly. Human. Her voice trembled slightly. You passed the night trial, and for the first time. She didn't look at him with anger. She looked at him with something new. Respect, asterisk. The sun climbed higher over Ravak Prime, casting a warm light across the crystal towers of the palace. Evan stood at the forest's edge, breathing hard, covered in dirt and scratches. He felt like he had walked through a nightmare and survived only by luck and stubborn courage. But the night trial was over and somehow, he was still alive. The alien warriors stared at him like he was a miracle they didn't understand. Some whispered quietly, "No human has ever survived. He walked out alive." Impossible. Maybe he really did save the matriarch. Evan didn't feel like a hero. His legs shook. His hands still trembled. But when he looked toward the palace gates, he saw someone waiting, someone whose eyes held warmth instead of fear. The elder mother. She stood straight now, her strength slowly returning. When she saw Evan, her expression softened. She walked to him with slow but steady steps. "You came back," she said warmly. Evan smiled tiredly. "Barely." She placed her hand gently on his shoulder. "You have a brave heart, human. The forest accepted you." Evan didn't know what to say. Her touch felt like comfort, like gratitude. She had lost none of her power, yet she treated him gently, something even her warriors had never seen before. As the elder mother led Evan inside the palace, the queen watched from her throne platform. Her sharp eyes followed every step. She wanted to appear calm, but inside she was unsettled. Something about this human threatened the balance of her world. But she also had to accept what she had. Seeing he survived the night trial, that alone meant he had earned the right to stand before them. The hall of reflection, the palace guards opened massive stone doors, revealing a long hall decorated with glowing murals of ancient battles. Evan walked slowly, trying not to show how tired he was. At the far end of the hall stood the queen, her expression unreadable. "Human," she said, her voice echoing. "You completed the night trial. You proved courage. But courage alone does not make you worthy of staying in our kingdom." Evan nodded. "I understand. What do you want from me?" The queen stepped closer. Her blue eyes locked onto his. "I want to know your heart." Before Evan could speak, a small cry echoed from the side of the hall. A tiny alien girl, no older than 5, ran into the room. She tripped on her long robe and fell hard on the floor, letting out a painful whimper. The guards moved forward, but the queen lifted a hand. "Wait." Evan didn't. He hurried to the child and helped her up gently. "Hey, careful," Evan said softly. "You okay?" The child looked up at him with big silver eyes. Her small arm was scraped and bleeding blue. Evan tore a piece of his shirt and tied it carefully around her arm. "Better now?" he asked. The child nodded slowly. Then did something shocking. She wrapped her arms around Ivan's leg and hugged him tightly. Everyone watching froze. Alien children were taught never to touch strangers, never to show emotion in public, but the girl clung to him like she had known him forever. The queen's eyes widened. She wasn't expecting this. Evan picked the little girl up gently and walked toward the queen. "She's hurt," he said simply. "She needs proper bandaging." The queen stared at him silently. The hall felt colder suddenly. "You helped her," she said, voice lower than before. "She needed help." Evan replied, "Even though she is not human." Evan nodded. "Does that matter?" The queen said nothing. But something changed in her eyes, a faint crack in her hard shell. A lesson in humanity. The elder mother stepped beside Evan. "Daughter, do you see now? He helps without expecting reward." The queen inhaled sharply. "Humans are unpredictable. You act by feelings, not logic." Evan shrugged. "Maybe, but feelings are what make us human." The queen looked away for a moment, as if thinking deeply. Then she turned back. "Tell me, human, Why did you really save my mother? You could have left her. You could have run away. Evan looked straight into her eyes. Because she was alone, he said. And no one should die alone. The hall grew silent. It was a simple answer, but it held truth. A truth the queen wasn't prepared for. Alien warriors exchanged glances. The elder mother smiled gently. The queen felt something strange, something she hadn't felt in years. Respect, and maybe something close to admiration. The decision finally, after a long silence, the queen spoke. Very well. If you truly have a human heart that values life, then I cannot treat you as an enemy. Evan let out a quiet breath of relief. But, the queen continued, you are still an outsider. You must stay under our protection and our watch. The elder mother placed a hand on the queen's arm. He stays with me. The queen didn't argue. She simply nodded, accepting her mother's choice. And then, surprising everyone, she looked at Evan and said, Human, you have shown honor today, more than many of my own warriors. Evan didn't know it yet. But this moment would change everything. The queen had seen his heart, and the kingdom would never see humans the same way again. The palace of Ravik Prime calmed after the queen's decision. But a soft tension still floated through the halls. Something felt unfinished, like a storm hiding behind quiet clouds. Evan stayed close to the elder mother on her request, and alien warriors watched him with curious, suspicious eyes. Some now respected him, but many still whispered doubts. Evan didn't mind. He only cared that the elder mother seemed stronger every day. But the peace did not last long. A disturbing message. The queen held a secret meeting in the war chamber circular room with glowing maps and living stone walls. She summoned the elder mother and allowed Evan to stand behind her. Though many warriors complained silently, a scout knelt before the queen. My queen. We found signs in the northern jungle. Tracks, blood, broken weapons. The queen's eyes narrowed. Whose? The scout looked nervous. Not ours. Not creatures. It belongs to the Crack's dominion. The hall erupted with whispers. The elder mother's expression darkened. The queen tightened her fists. The warriors exchanged fearful looks. Evan leaned closer to the elder mother and whispered, Who are the Cracks? The elder mother answered quietly, Our oldest rivals. Cruel, silent hunters. They attack without warning and disappear like smoke. The queen spoke sharply. Why would they enter our land? Why now? The scout continued. We found something else. A piece of our matriarch's cloak near their trails. The elder mother closed her eyes. The room went silent. Evan felt a chill. Are you saying, Evan asked, they injured her? Left her alone in the forest. The queen's eyes burned with cold fire. It seems the Crack's dominion tried to capture my mother. Or kill her. Evan clenched his jaw. Then we have to stop them. The warriors growled angrily. He speaks like one of us. He wants to join the fight. A human in battle. Impossible. But the queen raised a hand, and silence returned. The elder mother spoke softly. The Cracks attacked me. I felt their presence, but I escaped. They chased me until I reached the deeper forest. I hid. And then, Evan found me. The queen looked at Evan with a shift in her eyes, understanding mixed with guilt. He saved you because we failed. She whispered to herself, A. New strategy. The queen walked around the chamber, thinking. Then she looked at Evan. You are human. Your mind works differently. What do you think the Cracks want? Evan hesitated. Well, if they attacked your mother, it means they're planning something big. Maybe they want to weaken your kingdom. The queen folded her arms. And how would they do that? Evan pointed to the glowing map. By creating fear. By making your people doubt your strength. By breaking your trust in each other. The queen stared at him. Humans, she whispered. You see patterns quickly. Evan shrugged. It helps when you survive Earth traffic and rent prices. A few warriors blinked, confused. The elder mother chuckled softly. The queen continued, so, they want to divide us. That means they will attack again. Evan nodded. Unless we strike first. Gasps filled the room. A human suggests battle. He wants war. Or is he trying to trap us? The elder mother spoke with calm power. He is right. We cannot wait. The queen stood tall and proud. Prepare the army. Tonight, we hunt the cracks. Evan stepped forward. Let me help. A warrior barked, you. Human, you will die in seconds. Another added, you cannot even lift our weapons. But the queen looked at her mother. The elder mother nodded slowly. Let him come, she said. He sees what we do not. The queen turned to Evan. You will stay close to me. You will not fight. But you will guide us. Evan nodded. Deal. The silent night marched that night. The alien army moved through the forest in absolute silence. Evan walked between the queen and the elder mother, feeling the weight of every shadow. Alien soldiers carried energy spears, their armor glowing faintly like blue fireflies. The forest towered around them, tall black trees. Roots bigger than cars, creatures hiding behind branches. The queen whispered. The cracks always hide. They strike from darkness. Evan listened. He noticed something strange, a pattern in the forest sounds. The left side was too quiet. The right side had repeated bird calls. That call. It's repeating the same time, Evan said. Not natural. The queen frowned. A signal. Yeah. A trap. Suddenly, the queen raised her arm. Prepare. Dozens of Cracks warriors burst from the shadows, thin, sharp creatures with armor like jagged stone. They charged silently, weapons raised. But the queen was ready. Defend. She roared. The battle exploded, bright blue light, sharp clashes, alien roars. The queen fought like a storm, her claws slicing through the Cracks' ranks. Evan stayed close to the elder mother, protecting her and guiding soldiers into safer positions. You see their tactic? The elder mother asked. Yes, Evan said breathlessly. They want to push us toward the cliffs. The queen heard him and changed formation instantly. Warriors, move left. Do not fall into the Cracks' trap. Her army obeyed. Within minutes, the Cracks' formation collapsed. The feral queen delivered the final blow to the Cracks' leader, sending their army fleeing into the dark. The battle ended. The forest grew quiet again. A new trust, the queen stood before Evan, her chest rising with each breath. You saw their plan, she said softly. You saved us from the cliff trap. Evan wiped sweat from his forehead. Just paying back the help I got. The queen finally allowed a small smile, fierce, rare smile. Human, you are not weak. The elder mother placed her hand proudly on Evan's shoulder. He may be the strongest heart among us. And for the first time, Evan felt like he was no longer just a visitor. He was becoming part of their world. The battlefield of the sacred forest grew quiet again. Smoke drifted between giant trees. Broken weapons lay scattered on the ground. The alien warriors stood in a circle, catching their breath, their blue armor glowing faintly under the moonlight. The Cracks' enemies had escaped into the shadows, defeated and humiliated. But the moment belonged to someone else, to the human who had changed everything. Evan stood with dirt on his face and scratches all over his arms, but his eyes were clear. He looked around the battlefield with disbelief. He had survived another night in this strange world. And beside him stood the elder mother, her posture proud and her golden eyes warm. For the first time, she looked truly healed. The queen turned toward him, her tall figure glowing under the twin moons. Her expression was strange, soft, thoughtful, almost confused. Human. She said quietly, "Your guidance saved us again. You saw what my warriors did not." Kivon shrugged. "Maybe I just got lucky." The queen shook her head. "No, humans call it luck. We call it instinct." A few warriors nodded. Others bowed slightly. It was a small gesture, but it held deep meaning. They were starting to accept him not as an outsider, not as a problem, but as someone valuable, someone who belonged. The elder mother stepped forward and spoke, so the entire army could hear her. "This human saved me when I was lost. He stood by me when the forest tried to crush him. He protected our children. He guided our queen. He saw danger before we did. He is not here by accident. He is chosen." The warriors listened with wide eyes. The queen hesitated, then spoke clearly. "My mother's words are law. And after what I have seen, I cannot disagree." She walked toward Evan and stopped just a few steps away. Her eyes, usually sharp and fierce, softened. "You changed everything," she said quietly. "You broke many of our rules. You challenged our beliefs. You forced us to see humans differently." Evan rubbed the back of his neck. "I didn't mean to break anything. I just wanted to help." The queen let out a soft exhale, most a laugh. "And that, human, is the greatest strength your kind has. You help without thinking, without fear, without expecting reward." The elder mother nodded proudly. She lifted her staff, carved from ancient crystal, and tapped it on the ground. A wave of soft, golden light spread across the forest floor. All the warriors kneeled instantly. Evan looked confused. Should I kneel too?" The elder mother smiled. "No, Evan. This moment is for you." She raised her voice so the entire valley could hear. "From this night forward, Evan of Earth shall be known as the guardian of the feral crown, protector of the matriarch, ally to the queen, and friend to our people." The forest echoed with gasps. Evan blinked. "Guardian of what? Me?" The queen spoke with royal strength. "You wear no armor, yet you stand firm. You hold no weapon, yet you protect. You have no blood ties to us, yet you care. You are worthy of this title." A deep silence followed. The entire alien army watched him, waiting for his response. Evan took a slow breath. His voice trembled slightly. I don't know what to say. I'm just a guy who tried to do the right thing." The elder mother touched his shoulder gently. "That is why you deserve it." At the palace later that night, Evan walked through the palace with the queen and elder mother beside him. Thousands of alien citizens had come out to see him. Their glowing eyes watched with curiosity, but now with respect, not fear. Alien children waved shyly. One little girl, the same child he helped earlier, ran to him and hugged his leg again. This time, no guard stopped her. No one gasped. Instead, they smiled. Evan carried the child on his hip as the crowd followed him to the upper balcony of the palace. He looked at the queen. "They're not scared of me anymore." The queen nodded. "They saw your heart tonight." Evan looked embarrassed. "I'm not special." The queen turned to him, her voice soft but serious. "Human. Special is not something you declare. It is something others see in you," the elder mother added, "and we see it clearly." A new future as night settled. Evan stood on the palace balcony with the elder mother leaning gently on one side and the queen standing proudly on the other. The twin moons shone bright, lighting the alien world in silver light. The elder mother slowly rested her head against Evan's shoulder, the same way she had when he found her half-dead in the forest. Evan froze for a second, then smiled softly. The queen watched quietly, her expression complicated but warm. She had fought humans before, hated them, feared them, but this human was different. He had changed her world, her mother, her kingdom, and perhaps even her heart. "Evan," the queen said, her voice gentle, "you may return to Earth someday if you wish. But know this Ravik Prime will always be your second home." Evan looked at the stars above. "Thank you," he said. "I never expected any of this." The elder mother squeezed his arm. "Destiny is strange, human, but it always leads the right hearts together." As the moon shined brighter and the wind carried soft alien songs across the palace, Evan realized something powerful. He came to Ravik Prime by accident, but he stayed by choice. And now he was no longer just a visitor. He was family. Asterisk.